Good morning, friends. In today's lecture, we will learn more about the linear programming problem and BigM method. Let us start some more examples of objective function which is maximization type. Let us see. The first example is solve the given LPP problem is that maximize z is equal to 2x1 plus x2 plus 3x3 subject to the condition x1 plus x2 plus x3 less than or equal to 5, x1 plus 5 x2 plus x3 greater than or equal to 10, x1 x2 x3 are greater than or equal to 0. As I have already told that when the constants are greater than or equal to type, you must use the surplus variable, and if the constant are less than or equal to type, and we must use slack variable. But when we have to use the BigM method, there is a artificial variable technique method. And why we use the artificial variable, as we have learned about the artificial variable in previous lecture. Let us see. Our objective function is maximization type. Therefore, whenever the objective function is maximization type, we use the artificial variable as a minus m. And whenever the objective function is minimization type, we use plus m as an artificial variable. As we have given the artificial objective function is maximization type, therefore our artificial variable is minus m, and that's why we write the first LPP into standard form. The standard form of given LPP is x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 equal to 5, because whenever you have to solve the LPP using any method, simplex or BigM method, first we convert the given LPP in the standard form. Therefore, our first constant is less than or equal to type, and hence we add a variable x4 here, which is a slack variable. Next constant is greater than or equal to type, therefore we use surplus and artificial variable. Surplus variable is minus x5 plus w is equal to 10 for all xi greater than or equal to 0. Here our w is also greater than or equal to 0. We have w is also greater than or equal to 0. All variables are greater than or equal to 0, and artificial variable is also greater than or equal to 0. Then how to write the first table, simplex table? See, the first column is of basic variable. Basic variable are starting in the starting table. We use here slack, surplus or artificial variable. Therefore, the basic variables are x4 and w here. This is our Cj, means coefficient of z, that are coefficient of x1 equal to 2, x2 is 1 and x3 is 3, coefficient of x4 is 0, coefficient of x5 is 0, and coefficient of w is minus m. Similarly, zi is the coefficient of that terms. Zi is equal to, in this direction we consider the term zi, and in this direction we consider the coefficient of z. Therefore, coefficient of x4 in our objective function is 0, because there is no present x4, and coefficient of w is minus m. See, the w is present here, therefore we consider the coefficient of w is minus m, and using the formula Cj minus Zi, we calculate the delta I. Similarly, we write first here table using the matrix formation, which is coefficient of x1 is 1, coefficient of x2 is 1, coefficient of x3 is 1, coefficient of x4 is 1, x5 is not there in the first constant, therefore coefficient is 0, and w is also 0. Similarly, in second constant, coefficients of x1 is 1, coefficient of x2 is 5, coefficient of x3 is 1, coefficient of x4 is not there, therefore we write here the 0, and coefficient of x5 is minus 1, and m having the coefficient, w having the coefficient 1. Now let us calculate the term delta I. Delta I is calculated using the formula Cj minus Zi. Our Cj is, the first term is 2 minus 2 in 0 into 1 plus minus 1 into m, which is minus m. Therefore, this becomes 2 minus minus plus m, and the first coefficient is here 2 plus m. 0 into 1 plus minus m into 1, which is minus m. 2 minus Cj. Cj here means first C1 is 2. 2 minus 0 plus minus m means it is 2 minus minus becomes plus 2 plus m. Similarly, the second delta is means delta 2 is here. Coefficient is 1 minus 0 into 1 again 0, and 5 into minus m means 5m. Therefore, this term is 1 plus 5m. See here, the coefficient of delta 2 means the last row contains the second term is 1 plus 5m. Similarly, third term is 3 minus 1 into 0 is 0 again, and 1 into minus m is minus m again. Therefore, 3 plus m. You can see here the third term is 3 plus m. Similarly, next term is 0 minus 1 into 0 is 0, and minus m into 0 is again 0. Therefore, this term is 0. This term is 0. Similarly, next term is 0 minus 0 into 0 is 0, minus m into minus 1 is plus m, and therefore this term is minus m. This term is minus m. Similarly, this term is minus m minus x4 into 0, 0 into 1, 0 is 0, and minus m into 1 is minus m. Therefore, this is minus m plus m, which is equal to 0. The term is 0. Similarly, if we consider here is 0, therefore our term is 0 minus, you can check here also, 0 minus 5 into 0 is 0, minus 10m. Therefore, this term is plus 10m. Minus, 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 plus 10m. Now, let us move to the next table. Next table is our second simplex table. Second simplex table is, according to our procedure, we first consider the largest element. If our problem is of maximization type, then we consider the largest element. Otherwise, we think in this way that if your m is very large and we consider it for minus m, in that way our big value is 1 plus 5m. Therefore, we select the largest value, which is 1 plus m 5m, and here we get the entry variable. Using this, we find the entry variable. And how to find the exit variable? As same way in the simplex method, we calculate the ratio, which is equal to constant term is 5 upon, in the direction the coefficient constant is coefficient of x2 is 1. Therefore, 5 upon 1 is 1, and next one is 10 upon 5, which is equal to 2. First row contain 5, second row contain 2. Therefore, using the minimum ratio test, 2 is a minimum, and in this direction we get the exit variable. Means what? In second table, x2 will enter and w will leave the basis, and therefore the terms, our next table is becomes using the method. Our next table is by using the procedure that you have to make the pivot element as a unity and corresponding element in that column are equal to 0. Therefore, to make the pivot element as a unity, we have to divide the second row by 5 or using the operation 1 by 5 into R2. Therefore, 1 by 5 into R2. First element is 1. 1 upon 5 is 1 by 5. 1 of 5 upon 1 is 1. 1 by 5. Again 0 upon 5 is 0. Minus 1 upon 5 and 1 upon 5 because you have to divide the second row by 5 and 10 upon 5 is 2. Therefore, our pivot element is now 1 and corresponding element in that column are equal to 0. Therefore, we use here the row operations are, our coefficient is 1, the element is 1 here. Therefore, we use the row operation, which is elementary row operation is R1 minus R2. R1 minus R2. Then our first element is 1 and consider the R2 here because after making the pivot element as a unity, you must use the converted row. Therefore, the terms is 1 minus 1 by 5, which is equal to 1 minus 1 by 5. Obviously, 1 minus 5 is 1 by 5 is 5 into 1 is 5 minus 1 is 4 upon 5. This term is 4 upon 5. Similarly, the second term is 1 minus 1 is 0. Again, same way, 1 minus 1 by 5 is 4 by 5. Again, 1 minus 0 is 1 and 1 minus 1 by 5 minus 1 by 5. The x4 coefficient of x4 is 1 and here the term is 0. Therefore, 1 minus 0 is 0 and coefficient of this term is here, the term is 0 and the term here is 1 upon 5. Means what? 0 minus 1 upon 5 is equal to here 1 upon 5 minus 1 upon 1 upon 5. See the term, the element is 0 minus 1 upon 5 means it is equal to 1 upon 5. Therefore, we write here 1 upon 5. Similarly, 0 minus 1 upon 5 which is equal to minus 1 upon 5 and 5 minus 2 which is equal to 3. Similarly, using the same formula we calculate delta I. Which formula? The formula is Cj minus Zi. Therefore, the coefficient is 2. Coefficient is 2. First term is how to calculate C. Coefficient Cj is means C1 is 2 minus, how to calculate this term, in bracket 2 minus 0 into 4 by 5 which is equal to 0 plus 1 into 1 by 5 means 0 plus 1 by 5. 0 plus 1 upon 5 which is equal to 2 minus 1 upon 5. 5 into 2 is 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. 9 upon 5. The term is 9 upon 5. Next one. If we use the formula, this element becomes 0. म्हणजे तिथं फॉर्म्युलाला तुम्ही ॲज इट इज यूज केला की तिथं कोणतंही रो ऑपरेशन तुम्हाला करण्याची गरज पडत नाही. जसं की कोइफिशियंट या ठिकाणी काय आहे तुमचा 1. 1 मायनस काय करायचं आहे आपल्याला 0 इंटू 0 प्लस 1 इंटू 1 म्हणजे हा झाला 1 मायनस 1 म्हणजे इक्वल टू 0. कारण की आपली प्रोसिजरच काय आहे, ज्यावेळी तुम्ही सिम्प्लेक्स मेथड यूज करताय त्यावेळी आपला जो एलिमेंट आहे पिव्होट एलिमेंट त्याच्या करस्पॉन्डिंग कॉलमचे एलिमेंट आपल्याला 0 करायचे आहे. खरं तर ही प्रोसिजर आपण सिम्प्लेक्स मेथडमध्ये सुद्धा केलेली आहे आणि मी सेम वे तेच इथं यूज करते फॉर्म्युला डेल्टा आय साठीचा CJ मायनस ZI. म्हणजे हा एलिमेंट जो आहे आपल्याला कोणताही रो ऑपरेशन न करता हा फॉर्म्युला जर यूज केला तर तो आपोआप 0 होतो आणि आपोआप एलिमेंट कॅल्क्युलेट केला जातो. कारण या ठिकाणी तुम्हाला यम दिसतोय आणि ह्या एमसाठी तुम्ही कोणतेही रो ऑपरेशन्स या ठिकाणी एलिमेंटरी ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन यूज करणार नाही आहात. तुम्ही काय यूज करणार आहात या ठिकाणी सिंपल जो फॉर्म्युला आपण पहिल्यापासून यूज करतोय अगदी पहिल्या सिम्प्लेक्स मेथडच्या एक्झाम्पलपासून तोच CJ मायनस ZI. मग त्याच पद्धतीने आता मला नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट कॅल्क्युलेट कोणता करायचा आहे तर कोइफिशियंट काय आपला या ठिकाणी तुम्ही जर पाहिलं तर तो कोइफिशियंट आहे माझा या ठिकाणी 3 मायनस 0 into 4/5 which is 0 plus 1 into 1/5 which is equal to 3 minus 1/5 means 5 into 3 is 15 minus 1 14 upon 5. See, the element is 14 upon 5. Similarly, the next element is 0 minus 1 into 0 is 0. Again 1 plus 1 into 0 is 0. Therefore, the element becomes 0. Similarly, the term is 0 minus 0 into 1/5. See, the coefficient, next coefficient which is C1, C2, C3, C4, C5. C5. C5 is C5 is 0 minus 0 into 1/5 which is 0 and minus 1/5 into 1 means it is minus 1/5. Therefore, it is minus minus plus 1/5. The term is plus m by 1/5. Same way, we calculate the next term which is equal to the term next C6 is minus m minus 0 into minus 1/5 which is minus 1/5 into 0 is 0 plus 1 into 1/5 is 1/5 means minus m minus 1/5. You can check here the term. Same way 0 is there means 0 minus 0 into 3 is 0 and 2 into 1 is 2. Therefore, the term is minus 2. See here the term is minus 2. Next, now again by optimality criteria, here the optimality criteria does not satisfy because our optimality criteria is that whenever all delta I are for the minimization type, it must be greater than or equal to 0 in big M method. And same way, in big M method, if the problem is of maximization type, you have to check the optimality criteria is all delta I must be less than or equal to 0. And here, the term, only one term is less than or equal to 0. And same way we proceed. The next step is that we find the biggest element in this row. The biggest element is here 14 upon 5. You can check the term 9 upon 5 means it is 2.8 something. And here again this term is 2.9 something. Therefore, this term is biggest term. Here the term is 0 upon something. And therefore, if you calculate the term this and this term is the big value, largest value. Therefore, in this direction, we get 14 upon 5 is the entry variable. And How to find the exit variable? Again, using same way, we calculate the ratio. Therefore, our constant is here 3 upon, a constant is in this direction 4 upon 5. And therefore, the term is 5 into 3, 15 upon 4. And same way, 2 upon 1 upon 5 is equal to 10. And obviously, using this, the minimum ratio is 15 upon 4 because it is something 3 point something, and next term is 10. Therefore, minimum is 15 upon 4. And in this direction, we can say that this is x4 is our exit variable. This is our exit variable and entry variable. Once your entry and exit variable are decided, then you can calculate the table. First, find the pivot element. Means in this direction we get the pivot element. ज्या ठिकाणी तुमचा एंट्री आणि एक्झिट व्हेरिएबल एकमेकांना भेटेल, म्हणजे ज्या ठिकाणी इंटरसेक्शन झालेला दिसेल ॲरोचा, त्या ठिकाणी आपल्याला मिळत असतो पिव्होट एलिमेंट. म्हणजे काय झालेलं आहे की या ठिकाणी हा जो 4/5 आहे हा काय झाला तुमचा आता पिव्होट एलिमेंट. मग ॲज युजल make the pivot element as a unity and corresponding element in the column equal to 0. Therefore, to make the pivot element as a unity, we use the matrix operations are multiply the first row R1 by 5 upon 4. Therefore, it is 0 as the term is entry variable is x1, x2, x3 instead of x4. Now the x4 will leave the basis matrix and x3 will enter. Therefore, instead of x4, write x3. x3 is here and multiply the first row by 5 by 4. Therefore, 4 by 5 into 5 by 4 is 1. 0 into 5 by 4 is 0. 4 by 5 into 5 by 4 is 1. 1 into 5 by 4 is 5 by 4. 1 by 5 into 5 by 4. 5 gets cancelled. 1 by 5 into 5 by 4. This is 5 by 4. This is 1 by 5 into 5 by 4. 5 gets cancelled. It becomes 1 by 4. Same way, 5 by 4 into minus 1 by 5 is minus 1 by 4. And similarly, 3 into 5 by 4 is 15 by 4. Now we make the pivot element as a unity. Here the corresponding column element is 1 by 5. Therefore, multiply the first row by 1 by 5 and subtract from second row. And therefore, the operations become R2 minus 1 by 5 into R1, because in R1 our pivot element is 1. जसं की मी तुम्हाला सांगितलंय, ऑपरेशन्स करून झाल्यानंतर ज्यावेळी पिव्होट एलिमेंट 1 होतो तोच फक्त आपण करस्पॉन्डिंग कॉलमचे एलिमेंट 0 करण्यासाठी तोच रो आपण यूज करायचा. म्हणजेच काय की आपले ऑपरेशन्स या ठिकाणी सोपे होतात. आणि म्हणून 1ला मी मल्टिप्लाय करते 1/5 ने आणि सेकंड रो मधून तो सबट्रॅक्ट करते. मग बघा, पहिला एलिमेंट या ठिकाणी काय होता तुमच्याकडे 1 by 5. आता ह्या 1ला मी 1 by 5 नेच मल्टिप्लाय करते, म्हणजे 1 by 5 minus 1 by 5 0. पुन्हा 1 मायनस याला 1 by 5 ने मल्टिप्लाय केलं 0ला तरी तो 0च राहील, म्हणजेच 1 minus 0 is 1. अगेन हा 1 by 5 मायनस याला 1 by 5 ने मल्टिप्लाय करायचं आहे, म्हणजे 1 into 1 by 5 म्हणजे 0 होईल. तो 1 by 5 minus 1 by 5 0. अगेन आता तुमचा जो नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट आहे तो 0 आहे. या ठिकाणी एलिमेंट आहे आपला 0 आणि हा एलिमेंट आहे आपला 5 by 4. ह्या 5 by 4ला पहिल्यांदा तुम्हाला कशाने मल्टिप्लाय करायचं आहे, ऑपरेशन्स व्यवस्थित करायचे, कारण एक एलिमेंट जरी चुकला तरी आपले आन्सर या ठिकाणी चुकीचे येतील. त्यामुळं तुम्हाला या एलिमेंटला, म्हणजे कोणत्या एलिमेंटला तुम्हाला आता चेंज करायचं आहे, या सेकंड रोच्या एलिमेंटला, म्हणजे हा जो एलिमेंट आहे 1/5, याला 1/4 हा जो एलिमेंट आहे याला तुम्हाला 1/5 ने मल्टिप्लाय करायचं आहे. R1 ला कशाने मल्टिप्लाय करतोय आपण? 1/5 ने. म्हणजे 1/5 इंटू 1/5 मायनस 1/5 the term is, see here, we can calculate the term minus 1/5 minus 1/4 into 1/5 means minus 1/5 minus 1/20. Therefore, LCM is 4. Minus 4 minus 1 is minus 5. minus 5/20 म्हणजे किती? 5×1 आणि 5×4 म्हणजे ही टर्म काय झाली तुमची? -1/4. सिमिलरली या ठिकाणी सुद्धा तुमचा एलिमेंट आहे 1/5. 1/5ला तुम्ही पुन्हा कशाने मल्टिप्लाय करणारे? ह्या रोला तुम्ही -1/4ला 1/5 ने मल्टिप्लाय करा, म्हणजे ही टर्म काय होईल? -1/20. आणि आपली या ठिकाणची टर्म होती 1/5, म्हणजे 1/5 मायनस मायनस आता तो प्लस 1/20 होईल, म्हणजे 4 आणि 1 पुन्हा 5. 5×1 5×4 म्हणजे किती झाले? 1/4. म्हणजे हा असेल तुमचा पॉझिटिव्ह 1/4. सिमिलरली खालचे एलिमेंट कॅल्क्युलेट करण्यासाठी पुन्हा मी तोच फॉर्म्युला वापरणार आहे. तो म्हणजे कोणता? की CJ मायनस ZI. In this direction there is ZI and here CJ. Therefore formula is CJ minus ZI. या ठिकाणी CJ मायनस ZI करण्यासाठी पुन्हा त्याच पद्धतीने आपण करणार आहोत. कसं ते बघा. या ठिकाणी हे मी रिमूव्ह करते. पुन्हा आपण पुसून घेऊ. पुन्हा या टर्म्स कॅल्क्युलेट करू. खरं तर संपूर्ण कॅल्क्युलेशन तुम्हाला हे आता सिम्प्लेक्स मेथडपासून समजलेलं आहे आणि आपण आता पुन्हा हे कॅल्क्युलेशन करून बघूया. तर कॅल्क्युलेशन करत असताना आता पुन्हा मी प्रत्येक टर्म कॅल्क्युलेट करते. तर माझा पहिला कोएफिशियंट जो आहे या ठिकाणी किती आहे? 2. मग पहिली टर्म कॅल्क्युलेट करण्यासाठी मी काय करते? 2 वजा 3 गुणेला 1 3 अधिक 1 गुणेला 0 0. 2 वजा 3 बरोबर वजा 1. म्हणजे ही टर्म काय झाली तुमची? वजा 1. त्याच पद्धतीने ही जी टर्म आहे तुमची पहिली जी टर्म आहे, द टर्म इज 1 मायनस 3 × 0 is 0 plus 1 × 1 is 1. Therefore, it is 1 minus 1 which is equal to 0. You can check here the term is 0. Next term is 3. The term is 3 minus 1 into 3 is 3. 1 into 0 is 0. 3 minus 3 is 0. 3 minus 3 is 0. Our next term is 0 minus 3 into 5/4 which is 15/4 plus 1 into minus 1/4 means minus of 15 minus 1 is 14/4 which is equal to 2 4 2 14 म्हणजे -7/2. The term is -7/2. The next term is 0 and 0 मायनस काय होणार आहे या ठिकाणी? 3 × 1/4. पुन्हा त्याच पद्धतीने डेल्टा आयचा फॉर्म्युला 0 minus 3 into 1 by 4 which is 3 by 4 minus 1 by 4 which is equal to minus of 2 by 4 which is equal to minus 1 upon 2. See, the term is minus 1 upon 2. Similarly, the term is, हीच टर्म फक्त कॅल्क्युलेट करताना चुकली नाही पाहिजे, कारण इथं तुमची टर्म चुकली म्हणजे तुम्ही समजून घ्या की तुमचा आन्सर चुकण्याच्या शक्यता हे जास्त आहे. म्हणून ते काळजीने कॅल्क्युलेट करायचा. पहिले CJ घ्यायचा आणि त्यानंतर काय करायचं आहे तुम्हाला, तर या टर्मने इथल्या कोइफिशियंटला वजा गुणाकार करायचा अधिक या टर्मने याला, आणि ती टर्म ब्रॅकेटमध्ये लिहायची. जसं की मी आता इथं बघा तुम्हाला पुन्हा लिहून दाखवते. 3 into minus 1 by 4 is minus 3 by 4 plus 1 into 1 by 4 which is equal to 1 by 4. काय होते टर्म -3. इकडे कॅल्क्युलेट करते मी, सेन्सिटिव्ह आहे बोर्ड त्यामुळे आपल्याला तो स्क्रीन टच असल्यामुळं थोडंसंही कॅल्क्युलेशनमध्ये मिस्टेक होऊ शकतात आपण जर बघितलं नाही तर. 3 into minus 1 by 4 is minus 3 by 4 plus 1 into 1 by 4 is 1 by 4. म्हणजेच -3 minus 3 plus 1 is minus 2 by 4 which is equal to -3 plus 1 upon 2 minus 2 by 4 is which is equal to -6 plus 1 is minus 5 upon 2. Oh sorry, m. Here is not 3, minus m. Let us again calculate the term. आपली टर्म कोणती होती या ठिकाणी, बाहेरचा कोएफिशियंट होता सी, लास्ट सी 1 2 3 4 5 6, तो होता -m minus 3 by 4 plus 1 by 4 which is equal to -m minus 3 plus which is minus 1 upon 2 means -m plus 1 upon 2. -m plus 1 upon 2. Similarly 0 minus 15 by 50. ही इथली टर्म कॅल्क्युलेटच केली पाहिजे असं काही नाही, पण तुम्ही कॅल्क्युलेट करत असाल तर करा, नाहीतर इथं फक्त आपल्याला आन्सर हे व्हेरीफाय होण्यासाठी असतं. म्हणजे इथं कसं आहे की सुरुवातीलाच आपण इथं काय घेतो, या कॉन्स्टंटच्या डोक्यावरती 0 घेतो आणि तिथला डेल्टा आहे कॅल्क्युलेट करण्यासाठी काय करेल मी बघा, 0 minus 3 into 15 by 4 म्हणजे तो किती झाला तुमचा 45 upon 4 आणि प्लस 5 upon 4 आणि ही टर्म काय होईल मग 45 plus 5 is 50 upon 4 म्हणजे किती झाला तो, 2ने भाग दिला तर 25 आणि 2 म्हणजे 25 upon 2. पण तो 0तून मायनस आहे त्याच्यामुळे ही टर्म या ठिकाणी काय येणार तर मायनस येणार, -25 upon 2. आणि आता तुमचा ऑप्टिमॅलिटी क्रायटेरिया हा सॅटिस्फाय झालेला आहे बघा. Our optimality criteria for the maximization type function, check whether all delta I are less than or equal to 0. You can check here, this value is negative, this is equal to 0, this is equal to 0, negative, 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 because m is a very large quantity and that's why this is also negative term, and all delta I are greater less than or equal to 0. Therefore you can conclude that our solution is optimal. And what is the solution? See, x1 is not present here, therefore value of the x1 is 0, and x2, value of x2 is 5 upon 4, value of x3 is 15 upon 4, x1 is 0, x2 is 5 upon 4, x3 is 15 upon 4, and therefore putting all these value in our objective function, our objective function is that 2x1 plus x2 plus 3xt, 2x1 plus x2 plus 3x3. ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह फंक्शन काय होतं आपलं, मॅक्सिमाइज z इक्वल टू maximize z is equal to 2x1 plus x2 plus 3x3. म्हणजे तुमची व्हॅल्यू कोणती आलेली बघा, 2 इंटू x1ची व्हॅल्यू 0, x2ची व्हॅल्यू 5/4 आणि x3ची व्हॅल्यू आहे 3 इंटू किती, तो x3 आलेला आपला 15/4, 3 इंटू 15/4 which is equal to 5/4, 15×3 = 45, म्हणजे किती झाला तो 50, म्हणजे 25/2. आणि नेहमी तुम्हाला माहिती आहे की एक्झॅक्ट अपोजिट व्हॅल्यू या ठिकाणी आपल्याला साईनमध्ये अपोजिट व्हॅल्यू आपल्याला या ठिकाणी मिळते. म्हणजे ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह फंक्शनची व्हॅल्यू आहे 25/2.